Mic check 1, mic check 2. Good to go. So today on the menu, we got another training video. Today is going to be my second back day of my push-pull leg split, implementing a lot of new workouts that I haven't done before. Days like some pullovers, some new kinds of rows, stuff like that. So back day has been really fun. It's just been fun to be able to train upper body more than like once every 4 days like I was before. So up to my back day, showing them what I'm doing, sets and reps, all that kind of good jazz. First movement we're gonna do is an underhand easy bar pullover for the lats. So these underhand cable pullovers have been a movement that my coach added in my program that I've actually like never done even before I started working with him. Like when I started working out like 4 or 5 years ago, I like never done these, and these have one of the biggest surprises on my new split. It's like every time I do these, my lats get pumped like no other workout. I've been doing them wrong though. Like before, he corrected me. This is something you guys can take away from this as well. I want your arms to look like this the entire time, because when you start bending them like this, you start making it to like a row. And from what I've noticed is when you start rowing like that, you start feeling a lot in your triceps. And I just kind of thought the past couple of weeks, like maybe that was just how these pullovers felt. And he told me that your arm should be straight the entire time. And then I implemented that today. So like my arm should look like this at the top and like this at the bottom. And I'm doing that warming up. Can definitely feel it like 20 times more on my back. We'll run 3 sets here. We're gonna get about 15 to 20 reps, pretty much just like a warm up exercise, a primer exercise for like some heavy rows that we're gonna do later. So. That's ridiculous. It's like the one muscle group that every pro, every normal gym go, everybody just has like a hard time hitting their back, just because you can't really see it. So it's easier to hit like to learn how to hit chest, because you can like watch yourself do it. You can watch yourself press in the mirror or in front of you or whatever. But your back, it's like you have to get really intricate, or just like video yourself hitting your back. And there's so many like elbow pathways and like not using certain muscles to use your back more that people just don't learn. So it's just a hard muscle to hit. So now that we wrapped up the pullovers, we're going to move into a single arm lat pull down. Do 2 single arm pull down variations. One, I'll do in like the cross cables over here while I have like the bench setup. And then my coach wants me to do another variation of that on this day. But I don't have like a cool single arm hammer strength row machine or lat pull down machine here, so I just get on the lat pull down machine, use a single grip handle, and I'll kind of lean to one side here, the other, and that's all I got to work with. But gotta work with what you got. Some good key points y'all can take from this, always am working on, is keeping a really good posture and not using momentum to yank the weight down. So what I mean by that is, you see a lot of guys, they'll get deep into a set or even from the very beginning, and they'll be like yanking the weight down, like trying to use momentum to get the weight down. But where you'll feel your lat the most, and where I felt my lat my most and like the most growth, is when you get set in your position. 2 things in your head. 1, keep your torso nice and upright and nice and straight, and really just focus on driving your elbow down and contracting the lat to move the weight. You don't want to be using momentum. You want to be keeping your posture the same. Letting your arm travel forward, just like this. Guys get caught in the trap of like wanting to use a bunch of weight or wanting to use a bunch of whatever, look cool in the gym, and then they end up not even working the muscle that they intended on working, and then they end up never growing, and then they're sad their whole life. But that's beside the point. But here, we're on a top set about 10 to 12 reps, and then we're on a back off set about 15 to 18 reps, backing off the weight a little bit and going for a little higher reps on that back off set, and then we'll move into our meat and potato T-bar row. what's on my mind. Y'all let me know down in the comments with Thanksgiving coming up and all that kind of stuff. What is your favorite Thanksgiving food? I'm gonna share a little story with y'all. So back when I was younger, I was like probably the pickiest eater you could literally ever imagine. Like I would not eat any holiday foods, and I would, whenever our family would be getting together to eat, I would go like hide in the bathroom, and then my grandma would cook like chicken nuggets for me in the oven while there's like cornbread, stuffing, green beans, mac and cheese, turkey all on the plate. She'd be making me chicken nuggets and fried potatoes in the oven, and that will always be something I remember from my childhood is being such a picky eater, and then going from that, going from being the pickiest eater on the planet to bodybuilding, to where like you get restricted of like, you know, when you're bodybuilding, doing the diet, you know, you don't eat many varieties, but when you do get the chance to, like I'll eat anything now. Like I'll literally eat. You put something in front of me, I'm apt to try and eat anything. So I went from chicken nuggets at Thanksgiving to literally not being scared to eat anything. So I guess if you are a picky eater and you want to not be a picky eater, bodybuild. Kind of stand on that note of like what bodybuilding has like taught me and brought me walking in public, or like just having an online presence is like something that even 2 years ago me wouldn't have imagined that I would have. Like I didn't like speaking on camera. I didn't like speaking in front of people. Like the only speaking in front of people experience that I've had was like talking at a pep rally, and I butchered it and I stuttered. So it's like that's another thing that like bodybuilding, social media, and that whole endeavor has brought me is like just publicly speaking and just not being afraid just to fucking talk because no one really cares. Like no one really gives a fuck. Like you have to think about it whenever you're thinking about how much people are like judging you or thinking about you. You're thinking about yourself, and that's kind of everyone else's too. Everyone else is very caught up in their own what they have to worry about in life and their own struggles, and don't have the time and don't want to allocate the thought process into thinking about what you're doing. So it's like no one cares. At the end of the day, no one gives a fuck. Like just do your thing. If you're going to video yourself and talk in public, fucking do it. Enough of my yip yapping. Now that I got pretty good warmed up with the single arm pull downs and the pullovers, we're going to get into our main meat and potato movement, which is our T-bar. We're on a top set here, about 10 to 12 reps. Finally back to 3 plates. I was feeling quite weak there for a little bit, running like 2 plates in 25, but my strength is coming back pretty quickly after the show, so that's what I'm happy about that. But we're on top set here, top set, back off set, and then I think we have mag grip pull downs after this. I'm not too sure, but three. Fuck it. Drop set. Yo, actually, I was looking through my YouTube analytics, and I saw that 83% of you guys that watch the videos are not subscribed. If you could do me one little favor and hit the subscribe button, it would mean more to me than you understand. God bless you to all you guys that do. Back to the video. Wrapped up our T-bar rows. That drop set really got me. But now we're moving on to mag grip pull downs. Here we'll run 2 top sets, about 12 to 15 reps. And then for that last one, we'll back off the weight once I fail or whatever, and then we'll be aiming to get 30 reps through some rest pauses. So let's say that last one I get 115 for 14, and I fail at 14, I'll drop it, rest about 30 to 45 seconds. I'm pretty much just explaining what a rest pause is at this point, but drop it, go again, until maybe let's say I get to 22, drop it, rest again, go until I get 30. I really like doing sets for like a smaller muscle group, so like, or like a smaller, like a part of a muscle, like lat is a part of the back, obviously. So like the same example goes like for side delts. Like I really like doing high rep rest pause sets on side delts just because like a smaller muscle. So a smaller muscle like that, I like doing higher rep, like rest pause, back offset, drop set, whatever. I know a lot of people could say those are not needed for muscle growth, that you don't need those to grow, which is true, but I think rest pauses and drop sets are fun to do because like there's no better feeling than getting out from under like a set of lateral raises after you do like a drop set, like a rest pause set, and your delts are just like, or your lats, when you get done with the lat pull down, like rest pause set, and you get off and your lats feel like they're about to fall off. It's a pretty good feeling. So anyways, we're running 2 top sets here, back offset, aiming for 30 reps, and then that'll be one of our last back movements. So. A little coaching point I want to make here. So let's say you have a weak body part. Like for me, my focus on my last split was to grow my legs, right? So I want you to imagine recovery, the food you're eating, recovery being the food you're eating, sleep you're getting, supplements you're taking, gear you're taking if you're on gear. It's all in a cup. And it's all in this huge, let's call it a gallon. It's in a big gallon. And you got all these little cups, which are your body parts, okay? You can't have a baseline. You can't have a baseline. Let's say you're doing, I don't know, on average, 10 to 11 sets per body part. If you're wanting to grow a muscle group, you can't just leave those other body part volume allocations the same. You're gonna have to start taking from little cups and pouring into your lagging body part. So let's like I said, let's say you're doing 10 sets a week for chest, back, arms, and legs. Let's say you can't just take that and then let's say, well, my legs are lagging. I probably want to add like 5 more sets and that'll bring them up. Go back to the gallon. You only have so much in the gallon that can be allocated out towards your muscle groups. So if you just add more sets and you add more reps and you're not adding maybe some more to the gallon and you still have the same recovery capacities in this gallon, your legs are not going to grow because you don't have the recovery capabilities. So what you have to do, like I said, is you have to start pulling from other body parts. Let's say you can tailor down your chest day. Let's say you got some big yitties, you got a big chest. You don't need more chest, but you need more legs. You can take some out of your chest day. Let's say you go to, I don't know, 9 sets or 8 sets per week. And you put those sets into your legs. Okay, let's look at your back day. Okay, oh, you're doing 12 sets on back and your back looks fine. Your back is huge. Why are you doing I like doing back. Well, you have small legs, so we have to put more volume into your legs. So let's pull like 4 sets from your back day and put it into your leg day. Now, all of that stuff, remember the gallon, all that stuff from the gallon of recovery, let's call it, is gonna start going into your legs. And so your legs will start to come up, your back and your chest will maintain, and you're gonna have a more balanced physique. I see so many guys who think that they could just take what they're doing and just add more to it. Just add more volume and that'll grow them. Which in some cases, it might. It might, but in my experience, it's always best to start taking sets away from other muscle groups. Like my arms, like I genetically just have good arms. So my past split, I did like 4 sets of arms for the entire week. And my arms maintained and grew. That's just a genetic thing. And my legs suck. So like y'all remember in the past, I had 2 back-to-back leg days twice a week. So I was hitting legs 4 times a week, and that's just what I needed to grow them. Not that they grow a substantial amount, but they did grow. And that's what you can take with your training. So if you're doing X amount of sets per week for a body part that you already have pretty good, and you want to grow another body part, before you start just adding more and adding more and adding more, think about taking away from another body part that's already pretty good on you, like chest, back, shoulders, whatever it may be. Rest about 30 seconds here. And then go again. Oh, oh boy. That's gonna be a long one. Oh, boy. Moving on to our infamous rear delt fly 5-step rest pause set. Like I said, smaller muscle group. I like doing higher reps, rest pauses, all that kind of fun old school jazz. I made a video a few days ago about how you need to get good as a lifter if you're going to be in the gym or whatever at looking at your videos and your film and like assessing what you're doing. So like me looking back on some of my videos from like my off season, I could see sometimes like my form would break down, but I would still try and progress the weight the next week. So like let's say I'm doing 4 plates on a hack squat, like the next week I would try and do 4 or 5 or whatever. And it's like maybe I should just stay at 410, whatever it be. Yeah, 410. Whatever, my math is bad. But I'd say that week, instead of going up to 410, I could have probably stayed at 405 and just improved my form. And I think a lot of guys need to get better at that, myself included, is just getting good, getting the form and the execution part checked off perfect before you progress your weight. Obviously, you want to be trying to progress your weight, but there's always ways to progress that isn't just weight or rep focused. It could be execution focused. It could be tempo focused. It could be intensity focused. It could be, there's a vast majority of things that you could progressively overload week to week. That's not just weight and reps. But enough of that yip yapping. I'm going to get into these red flies, and then it'll be pullovers after this, and then my little, yeah, right. And then it'll be my little run the rack set with dumbbell curls, and then I'm going to be getting out of here because I'm starving. Last one. Ooh. That's another good implement you guys can use on your, if you do those red flies where you're like laying on the bench, whenever you get to your last set and you fail, do some like shrugs and really fire up that upper part of the back, and you can still figure rear delts as well. It's a really good finisher for rear delt, upper back, all that kind of jazz. But now that we're moving on from that, we got our last back movement of the day, which is another one that I haven't ever had in my program. Matter of fact, I've never had to use this grip. Actually, this grip and this grip I ordered off Amazon. So I keep it at the gym, and so because coach put them in my program, I was like, well, I don't got those grips. Went on Amazon, those two were comboed for like $50. I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna get them. So, but we'll run 3 sets here, about 15 to 20 reps. First set, aiming to get about 20 reps. Keep the weight about the same for all 3, and then the reps will decrease throughout the sets. But just same principle applies to these as the pull downs we did at the beginning. You want your arms to end start like this and end like this. So arms stay straight, do the whole movement. And this one as well as the other one, absolutely fire my lats up. So pullovers will for sure be something that I implement in all my back training going forward. So Just wrapped up my run the rack set on dumbbell curls. Didn't video that because there was a girl in the way and I didn't want to video her because that is disrespectful. But that run the rack set is actually so fun. I think all y'all should implement that on your arm days. Like at the end of your arm day or back day or day you have biceps, just pick a weight. They can get about 10 reps for us. So like for me, it's like with good form, 35. So I start at 35s, get as many as I can, 30s, 25s, 20s, 15s, 10s, 5s until I can't move and the pump will speak for itself. You know, you can lose all the weight, you can get the abs and get the veins, but that body dysmorphia, well, just realized my mic wasn't on for that. What I was saying was, but then I get to thinking, like, sometimes if you didn't have that little bit of like body dysmorphia or that little bit of like messed up part of your head, would you be able to make the amount of progress that you have with it? For me personally, I don't think I would. I think that little bit of like messed up side you kind of need to like push you in moments where maybe you don't want to diet or you don't want to do cardio or you don't want to do that last set of squats or whatever it may be. Having like that, I wouldn't call it self-hatred. I think it's just like high standards for oneself. I think that's like not 100% required, but I do think you need to have a certain degree of that to make really good progress within fitness, within anything, to be honest. Because if you're always just like, yeah, I'm doing really good, I'm doing this, and you don't have moments where you're like, no, I'm not. Like I'm not not anywhere close to where I want to be. And I'm not saying you have to hate yourself, but just having a degree of that to some extent, I think is required to make really good results. But now that we got that wrapped up, gonna get our 20 minutes of post-workout cardio done. Probably just gonna watch a little YouTube video because I've been pretty much working on my computer all day. Had a call earlier and did some stuff like that. It's been raining all day, so it's been nice to kind of be home and enjoy the rain. But when I was younger, man, I live in a house with a metal roof, and when it rains, the noise of it is amplified by like 10,000 times. So I've been scared of storms like my whole life, but now I kind of enjoy being at home in the rain and just listening to the thunderstorms and whatnot. But gonna get this 20 minutes of cardio wrapped up and then hit y'all with another in-depth truck talk because I know y'all love those. And I like talking philosophical stuff. So I'm gonna wrap this up, watch a little YouTube, and I'll see you guys at the truck. Yo, so wrapped up the cardio to the truck, and I want to talk about something a little bit related to like last video's truck talk, a little more faith talk. And it's gonna be about trusting and believing in God's plan for you. In modern society, people need like a hard, definite answer or hard, definite evidence to believe in something. You know, like maybe the only way they're going to believe that you're on God's path for you or that God works for you is that, oh, I prayed for this and I think I'm going on God's path because I made this much money or I made this much growth in my business or this much growth in my physique. And not enough people can just believe in God's plan without there being a reward at the end or without there being a cookie at the end. They can't just believe in God's plan for you. So how do I know, Maddox, how do I know if I'm on the right path? Well, first of all, we're never going to know. No one will ever have an answer as to if what we're doing is the direct, perfect, exact path. But I do believe and I have experienced that God leaves clues. How he leaves clues for you is going to be different from how he leaves clues for me. But he leaves clues down the path that is the one he wants you to follow. So it's like he's putting little cookies out. And whenever you're on the right path, he'll leave little cookies for you to kind of follow. And when you start seeing these things, like, for an example, for you, it may be, how do I know I'm down the right path? well, maybe some doors just to maybe new opportunities or new jobs start opening up the more you lean into faith and the more you ask for guidance and the more you ask for whatever. Or maybe you wake up one day and you're just able to talk to people better. Let's say you have like a really bad issue of talking to people, or you have a really bad issue of just social anxiety, and you pray about it, and you work on it and you work on it. Maybe you don't see results in that aspect for a while, but then one day you wake up and your ability to talk to people has exponentially increased. That's God's little treat. That's God's that's God's little treat. Is He's like, you're on the right path. Just keep believing in me, keep trusting in me, keep praying to me, and I will help you. I will guide you. I think He puts people through that effort, or that era of no result, or that era of nothing happening, to test your faith. And if He sees that you truly believe and have faith in Him, He will come to help you. You know, you can't just expect to pray one time and God's going to look down at you like, yep, he truly believes in me, I'm going to give him everything he needs. No, you have to go through a period of no result, no nothing, and practice that faith and show up every day. You know, like I've said before, kind of like a gym analogy. You can't just show up one day to the gym and expect to have a 6-pack abs and humongous pecs. You got to keep showing up. You have to keep doing it over and over and over. It's the same thing with your faith. But I really think that when you find your path, when you find your purpose, your reason, whatever arbitrary word you want to use, whenever you find that and you start pursuing it with God and praying to Him and asking Him for His guidance, He'll start to leave little cookies for you, little treats. Little things within your day will change. Maybe you'll be less stressed at this point in the day, or you'll start to learn or start to figure out things maybe in a quicker manner, or maybe people will start respecting you more, and you're like, I'm not doing anything different. Like, what's the difference? It's God's not working with you. He's leaving you little clues. Like, you have to realize that. You're like, okay, I get it now. And I think it's hard to put into words what I'm trying to say. You have to kind of experience it firsthand. But just remember this, God leaves clues. If you've been praying for guidance for something, or you've been praying to find your way in life, and you haven't gotten, maybe you feel like you haven't gotten the help from God yet, keep believing in Him. Keep your faith. Don't give up on Him. You know, too many people give up on their friends, their family, but I don't think anyone gives up more on the Lord, to be honest. You know, it's kind of sad. If you can just keep your faith in the Lord, man, I think whatever it is that you're trying to figure out in life, it'll come to you. But with all that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up. Not sure what the next video is going to be. Probably, I'm not sure. Not too sure, but I'll wrap this up. I'm going to get home and eat because I am freaking starving. If I don't see you guys before Thanksgiving, which I'm sure I will, but if I don't, I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. Hope you get to eat some good food, spend some good time with your family. Don't forget to remember what you're thankful for. Don't forget the actual reason we're having Thanksgiving. Don't just look at it as I get to have sweet potato casserole and 15 pounds of ham. Remember what to be thankful for. Be thankful for your friends, your family, the Lord especially, and all that kind of stuff. So I hope you guys have a great night, a great morning, whenever you're watching this. Have a great whatever, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you guys, and God bless y'all.